All right, so YouTube, yes, say hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am live on Twitch as I am doing this, so I have an audience with me, and we are going to be doing the final half anniversary Season 4 tier list featuring none other than the latest technical character to Dragon Ball Action Squadra, none other than the Majin Buu. So, couple things. Okay. So, Kid Buu is an interesting character. He released Broken. There is no ifs, ands, or buts. It is like prime Ulton when he was a tech character that was putting up damage numbers. Absolutely absurd. He's going to get nerfed. It is no ifs, ands, or buts. But at the time of the recording of this video, he has not received any nerfs as of late. Obviously, waiting for Season 5 for that to come around. But as of right now, I can tell you right now, this dude... Hell no. This dude is absolutely busted. So, for those of you that do not know, the way that I do my tier list here, it is as follows. We have the Zeno tier. This is the needs immediate nerfs. If you see these characters, if you do not counter them, it is GG's, go next, regardless of game mode. Then we have God of Destruction tier. This is a tier of characters that is very close to being broken, but not quite there just yet. All right. Then we have the Z Warrior tier. These are characters that if you pick them, they are fine regardless of the divine draw, regardless of who you're facing. These are the safe picks in Dragon Ball Action Squadra. Earthling tier, this is situational niche. These are characters and a tier section that is, for lack of a better term, like, these are characters that, like, they're not bad. They're not the greatest either. These are tied to either a specific divine draw, a specific type of play style. You essentially have to build the team comp around this character for this character to truly get a shine on. But it's still kind of like a hit or miss depending on who's behind the character, right? Then we have the ever so dreaded Yamcha tier. This is a tier that any character that goes in here after today, these characters suck. They are trash. Need to be reworked, or they need all the help that they can get. Only the best of the best can pick these characters and make them look good. If you see them and they are not of these variety, your games are being thrown and they are trolling. So, without further ado, let us do this. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Bum, 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 bum. Do, 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 do. Do, do. Do, do, do. Boop. Boop. Do, do. Do, do, do. Da, da, da. Ooh. Okay. Do, 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 and do. Okay. Let's start with the newest character for Dragon Ball Action Squadra. I already talked about it. This character needs to be nerfed. You can run all blue cards, you can run all green cards, and you are minimum going to be getting 6 kills per game. That is ungodly for a tech. Absolutely absurd numbers, and the fact that if you have a Kid Buu on your team, unless they are physically blind and or are physically incapable of playing the game. Every Kid Buu is going to get an MVP, bar none. Absolute menace. I think in the spirit of this tier list, we are going to be going into all techs. We'll do tanks, and then we'll wrap out with DPS. Also, completely forgot to say this. I have to emphasize this every time. One, tier lists are subjective. They are my opinion and my opinion only. If you have a differing opinion, let me know in the comment section below. However, when I make my tier list, I am not making my tier list as like we're talking sheer metagame. I am speaking to you if you are a new player picking up the game for the very first time and you are genuinely trying to figure out what characters are good, what characters are not, for the best possible playstyle for you. I am not saying, oh, this character is an S tier, but it has like a high floor and a high ceiling type stuff. I'm not, no. This isn't that type of tier list. This isn't like I'm speaking to S rank players. I'm speaking to people, if they don't know Dragon Ball or they don't know MOBA, and this is their very first time playing this, these are the characters in the honest opinion. Like, in the hands of an S rank player, Cell is God tier. But that is not the case in actuality. Like, you have to call a spade here, okay? So, moving right along, let's go. Let's file through the tech characters. Okay, Kid Han. Kid Han, I am going to go with fine in any situation. This guy has always been good. He's never not been good. He was absolutely Zeno tier when his ultimate gave defense, energy defense down when boss meta was a thing and characters like him were running rampant, but that is not the case here with his updated profile. However, squeaky hammer game mode aside, again, the fact that his passive, whoever he's laning with or whoever he's near mid to late game, gives you damage boost, that is awesome. He has CC stun. His kit is still all around. Like, he's a great tech to pick, and you cannot go wrong choosing him. Very easy character to learn. Therefore, fine in any situation. All right, Krillin. I'm going to go also fine in any situation. Again, especially with him, if in the hands of someone that's amazing, oh, Lord. The game is literally unplayable. You won't be able to see half the time. He can put up damage. He can be a distraction. He can be a nuisance. He can be in and out. He can just do it all. And he can defend, which again, as a tech, is so nice to have in the back pocket. Can help your teammates get out of any sticky situation. Like, this guy is awesome. I definitely like playing with him. And mind you, all of that is with him having gotten a nerf recently. So again, take that with what you will. All right. Next, Majin. All right, the other Buu. This is Majin Buu good. I'm going to go situational niche. And the reason why is because, again, the biggest glaring thing for me for this Buu is it doesn't matter if it's skill 2 or superstar. Here's my thing. One of Buu's skill heavily relies on him being next to his teammates. I'm talking about none other than his healing. You cannot heal when you are pad sitting. He is not the best at defending. He is supposed to be in the fight at all times. Now, the reason why that is a bad thing is because in late game, when you need towers, well, guess what? That means that you're relying on both of your DPS to be out in the field risking their lives for tower damage, and if they die, especially with Boo healing them, well, guess what? Now it's just your tank, and your tank can only do so much stalling. So for that, it's situational niche because, again, a tech needs to be able to be defending and attacking at the same time, not one or the other. Okay? Let's go into... Oh. Guys, I'm so sad about this. Like... He sucks. He sucks. It's not situational niche. Like, you can be and put up a good stat line with him, but like, if we're being completely honest, all his skills are dodgeable. The ghosts are easily destroyed, and at this point in time, Kid Boo just arguably has better util for defending, so him and Krillin just are better options, and when you have better options in your category, which in this case is tech, you get knocked down a peg that it becomes now a hindrance. You have to play damage Gotenks to truly put up numbers. Like, you're not playing build-up Gotenks. Like, if you do that, you're trolling. But when you risk not having defense cards or blue cards to get out of dodge, you are setting yourself up for failure, and that is not good. My boy got... Oh, he needs help, and I'm hoping that he gets some love to put him into some kind of meta relevancy. Because, dude, he was so fun. And I've said this on stream. I have not had that much fun on a tech character since Prime Gotenks when playing as Kid Boo. I need that feeling again to be, it's so frustrating because he was so fun, man. They gave him like an MVP, a legendary MVP. For what, though? You know what I mean? I digress. All right, so the last four, I'm going to group these guys together here. So, I'm going to go situational niche. Situational niche. And... yeah. Okay. Frieza. I think that Frieza takes a specific type of person to play him. He does have great defending. But, again, the biggest drawback to him, I would feel like, is if you destroy Frieza's soldiers, this has always been his glaring weakness, he physically just can't do anything but run away fast with Imperial Decree. That, to me, is a waste. And I think the cooldown is like, what, 20 seconds? So I think that, again, when you are dependent on your servants being alive, and if they get focused, you physically are just a walking waste of space. For me, that puts you in situational niche. Situational, of course, being if you're a defensive Juggernaut and you're a defensive Frieza, 1000%. But in the early and mid game, if your soldiers are taken out, one, you're playing them wrong, and then two, you physically can't play the game. Therefore, situational niche for me. Same thing with 17. I think it's game mode dependent, but also, again, you have to heavily play around your teammates, and if you are not, you can get collapsed on hard You gotta. It's just a very difficult character, knowing when to pop your shield, knowing when to pop your ults, so that way you are reversing the buffs and turning them into nerfs. A very strategic style of play needs to a player needs to play 17. You can't just pick them up and be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna full send it." This is not the character for you. Hit. I'm gonna get a lot of flack on this because, again, while I do think that it is a very higher level of play with hit, specifically because I will go to my grave with this. Especially, he just got buffs to his stuns, so it's not harder to play anymore. The fact that your ultimate does energy defense down, that basically they gave what Kidon had. You could be under leveled, but if you show presence and you just pop your ult, if your teammates know what they're doing, you are setting them up for success. And also, his ult blinds everybody. So basically, your ult combines these two together into that play style. So if you have people that know what they're doing, they're going to secure your boss 9 times out of 10. And at the very least, if you're not getting bodies, you're getting bosses, you're getting bodies. And that wraps out our tech. All right, let's go over on to tank. Khalifa fighting in a situation. Wrath, Provoke is such a good ability, bro. Provoke is such a good ability, and the only counter to Provoke, or how to get out of Provoke, is to get in the cloud or get out of her line of sight. I think when you have that as an ability, that is so beneficial to your team. Being able to attract all of the damage onto you, absolutely beautiful. All the skills, and then again the movement speed with skill 3, like, again, it is just, she's always been good. I think that because the shiny new toys, the new tanks come out, she gets kind of like forgotten, if you would, but no, she's always been good. A great first starting tank. I'm just gonna do this. Dude, this guy, if he gets his passive up, rush attacks using his skill, he cannot die. The fact that you have to 4-man him or 3-man him or have both your DPS with 5 snowballs kill him, that is egregious. That is egregious. Absolutely absurd. I think Bardock is good. Wrath, an amazing ability. I do think that he's not quite what he was, per se. I'm actually going to do this. But that doesn't mean that he's bad. Okay, I think people get a common misconception that he is bad. He is not bad. He is quite still good. But I think, like I said, they have a very, very, very much better tank. You cannot go wrong with him in that category. No, you know what? I'm gonna put some respect on it. There's something to know with this character. You gotta be dedicated to him, man. You gotta be dedicated to him. You gotta know that you are in for the roughest early to mid game of your life, with the sole purpose of, when you transform into Perfect Cell, it is going to be only uphill from there. In terms of damage, what you're able to do as a tank, etc. But his early game is so bad. This is just, again, when you pick this character, you just need to know that Things aren't always going to be sweet. It is going to be a rough time, but knowing that on the other side you can come out on top, that's what makes it worth it. Zamasu. I think also finding in any situation, I think people underestimate the damage over time. Like I said, I think that just because, again, we are in a meta that this dude, like when these guys were released, they have not yet released a balanced tank. That's the problem. We are far from this and this. It is now you choose these, like him, or you're throwing, or you are, again, choosing a specific playstyle. And I think that that can be the case over here. Now, I'm going to put him over here as well. So now, let me order the text, actually, now that I'm here. Here's my thing. These three are all finding a situation, like, they are good. It is just the fact that there is a clear person that is way above them in Gogeta, that these guys get overshadowed. That does not make them weak. That does not make them bad. They just have a specific playstyle. Again, provoke, very easy to get off. Damage over time, good damage, good survivability, good sustain, great. The reason why Cooler's at the bottom for me of finding a situation is because, again, you need to know how his passive work. Retaliation is a you hit me while I'm conducting a skill, it will do additional damage. It is very hard to get off or time correctly, like the Supernova, etc., when you have not played him in depth. Over time, the more practice you have with him, I think he's a great tank, not a bad tank at all. But like I said, I think that there are just easier picks in this meta. Last but certainly not least, the Vegeta brothers. Okay, so I'm going to go with finding a situation. And I'm going to put him at the bottom. Very good damage. Again, it's just like with him, there's just like his biggest thing. Farming legend, biggest thing is, again, just so many better options. I would even put Cooler. Nah, if like you're talking rookie, this guy fell off so hard. I don't know why they massacred him, bro. He has not been the same since his like countless nerfs. It is actually so sad to see what they did to him. I'm like so sad. Oh my lord, I completely forgot about Ultan. Yo, I am trolling. Hold on, Ultan. Finding any situation, I'm gonna put him at the top. This dude, as long as you can aim your switch ability, great. CC stun, he's not the broken person that he was on released. Again, he's just good. Alright, DPS. Let's get the trash out the way. Who is Yamcha? Oh, easy. Absolute trash. Doesn't matter that they gave his counter immune to all. No. The meta has always been against him. He needs a massive buff to make him relevant. Godku, Season 4's character. So here's the funny thing. He was here, now he's here. And I think that this is the exact order that I would use. There is no reason they should have given his Red Fury a buff. When he released, he was in a fine place. People were just crying about his damage to cry about something. They absolutely broke this character, and now, unfortunately, he is going to get the nerf hammer at the start of next season. This guy needs a nerf, bro. tank, defense of a tank, speed of attack, on par damage with Gotku. That is stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. This is your sign. Use him while they can, because I hope they need to cut him at the kneecaps. For real. And I'm not going to even touch him. That is just... ugh. Egregious. Goku. Find in any situation, like, dude... any build you throw on him in every meta, he has always been good. He has never been bad. The only thing that has ever had to happen to him is that they would have to switch the Divine cards on him. Not a big deal. This guy is good. He's the MC for a reason. Absolute joy playing this character. Again, very easy to learn. You will have fun. 10 out of 10. Trunks. I think also fine in any situation. He got a bunch of buffs, and I think that that's absolutely awesome. This is a character that his biggest weakness was his health bar, and they have since given him some love to amend that. So I'm hoping to get my hands on him, to play him a little bit more, to see kind of like what we're talking about here. But yeah, no. Definitely a very good character. Let's do... kind of want to do a little bit of a speed run here. Let's go J3. Kefla. Vegito. Kill. Oob. Gammas. Deborah. Bojack. Broly. Boom. Okay. I'm happy with that. Okay. Let's start from the bottom up. So, Android 18, Piccolo, Deborah, Bojack, and Broly. They are situational niche because they have glaring weaknesses that can be absolutely exploited in any and all situations. Deborah. Actually, I'm gonna put this dude at the bottom. Hell no. Let me order this real quick. I think this is it. Okay. Deborah, the best thing he has going for him is his meter, but then outside of that, it's only good early to mid game. Towards the late game, this dude is getting exposed left, right, center, which in this day and age, unless you plan on, and you're absolutely dog walking the enemy team to get them to forfeit before the late game even occurs, you're going to get collapsed on, and then that's what's going to make it not fun. Then we have Bojack. Again, great pad sitter, good for defending, can be good at attacking, but then again, at the same token, if he gets collapsed on, all you have to do is close the gap, and that is it. Same thing with 18. If she gets her hands on you, you are cooked, but if you get collapsed on, you are cooked as well. So when it has that much of a double-edged sword, it is not a fun time. Piccolo takes a certain type of a playstyle, again, especially with the Special Beam Cannon. You are exposing yourself while you are holding down the Special Beam Cannon, and if you get collapsed on, you are cooked. And again, the playstyle of using the Demon Whip to get out of dodge takes a certain type of player to do that, which not everyone is. Broly, unfortunately, due to his damage fall off, as a result of his nerfs, it definitely did hurt his stock. And I think that, again, while he is an AoE demon and a farming legend, again, I think that especially when we are currently in a ranged meta, you are going to get smacked if you do not know what you're doing. going into Z Warrior tier, this is fine in a situation. We have Gamma 1 and 2, Oob, Kale, and Vegito. So I think I'm going to go with this order. So turn 1 transformation, absolutely awesome. Again, the more he hits people in groups, the more health he has, which makes his sustain go up and his damage increases. Absolutely fun character. Definitely worth your free slot. Also, again, if you are tuning in at the time of the half anniversary, both Broly and Vegito are up for grabs in a 14-day login, so you can get him for free without spending any money. So definitely worth the pickup and playing the game for your first 7 days. Absolutely 10 out of 10. I think he's fine in a situation. You see him on a team, you're in for a treat. I think also, again, the fact that you can ult up to 5 times is like absolutely cracked. Let's see. Okay, Kale. My very first main. Absolutely love her. Her damage is absolutely awesome. I think that she doesn't get a lot of love and is often overshadowed because of the likes of Kefla and Godku, Baseku, and Vegito. So again, I think that they're just better picks. But again, please don't sleep on her damage. She can mollywop people. And then again, her ultimate being able to clobber even the tankiest of tanks. I'm looking at you, Gogeta. Absolutely beautiful pick. Do not sleep on the girl, especially when she has snowballs. Gamma 1 and 2 have always been a good pick, man. Again, yeah, they don't have their old stun anymore. But again, still a fun character to play. Again, I digress. Oob, I think, takes a specific type of player to use to get the most out of him. But I think that you could still, his buffs were so good. I think that it doesn't matter who you are. The damage you're going to do with Oob is so stupid. The ult being a snipe and his skill 3 being extra movement, you cannot go wrong with Oob. Alrighty, man. The last, I already touched him. I'm not touching him again. Goku, I'm gonna knock him out of the way. I already knocked him out of the way, but like again, I just kind of want to reiterate, like again, still pick him up, but like know that he is going to get nerfed. It is unfortunate, but like they know they messed up. So again, take that with a grain of salt. All right, last 2 of the tier list. Kefla and Goku. Kefla got nerfed in her damage. But here's the thing. A lot of people think that, oh, whenever a character gets nerfed, oh, they're unplayable. No. Kefla still puts up immense numbers. You just can't shred to the degree in which you could. But who cares? You know what they did? In exchange for that damage, they gave her insane movement. You thought Daima was fast? Kefla is as fast, if not faster, in my opinion. On top of still doing immense damage. Do not sleep on Kefla. She is still a top tier DPS. Now, the final DPS of the tier list. Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This guy was heavily disrespected by getting his knees chopped off. His damage was chopped to the umpteenth degree. I am so shocked at what they did to him, and then they gave him a buff that put him back to his elite status days. Honestly, mark my words, when they nerf him to the ground, he is going to be the clear winner, bar none. The fact that you have IT when you IT to an enemy every 10 seconds is egregious. The counter to that is that if you IT to a teammate to get out of the dodge, you will be down 25-ish seconds, I think. But with the Elder Kai support, you are able to shorten those cooldowns. ITing, Dragon Fist, with Backstab, you're shortening your cooldowns. Like, dude, he is awesome. Do not sleep on J3. He is absolutely massive. But guys, other than that, that is the tier list. Straight, simple, to the point. I am doing this towards the end of my stream, so if you tuned in to see this, you got to see this live. So thank you for everyone coming out to watching this live. And everyone on YouTube, again, let me know down in the comment section below. Do you agree with the tier list? Do you think that I got some things wrong? If you were to change some things, what would you change? Let me know down in the comment section below. But outside of that, guys, other than that, my name is Citizen. Take care of yourselves. Keep on being awesome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.